let's keep it real. They really want to come after Snoop because of the fact that he performed for President Trump. That's really what it comes down to. They just wanted some type of leeway into how they can just go, now we can really get him. Are you good people doing, my American brothers and sisters? Welcome to the channel. I'm Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man, which I'm greatly appreciative of. Make sure you guys are following me up here, follow me down here. Click this. It helps me. Thank you very much. And even when you do subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification. It will bring down a drop box for you to select all notifications. Check out the other channel called Man, Husband, Father, and everything I ask you to do over here, do over there. Don't forget, if there's a hype button on your screen, to click the hype button. It hypes my channel up so it can push it out in the YouTube world, I guess. So make sure you do that. All right. Appreciate it. Whew. The more stuff they have us do, the longer the intro is. That should have been less than a minute, though. I talk fast when it comes to stuff like that, okay? Anyway, folks, yes, I'm just now getting to this because at first it was one of those deals where I did not know if I wanted to talk about it, whatever like this. And, you know, it'd be one of these deals also where how in the world are you going to come out and try to cancel Snoop? But I forgot that Snoop did perform for President Trump. And it ticked a lot of people off. But now Snoop made a comment and it sent people off of the rails in regards to him being out at the movie theater with his grandkids. And a certain scene happened between same sex. And Snoop went on a podcast and talked about it. And all of a sudden, all hell broke loose and they want to try to come out and cancel Snoop. Yeah, but most likely it's not going to happen. People are done with all the woke bull crap. But anyway, nevertheless, check it out.
Well, they can't drop him like it's hot. Snoop Dogg is speaking out about LGBTQ content in kids' movies.
She had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, I didn't come in for this. Came and watch the movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women's. How did she have a baby? I mean, I'm scared to go to the movies now.
The great thing about my radio show is I was able to play all of this in the entire comment unfiltered. But now the woke mob is coming after him. A former Australian football player and the country's far-left politicians want to cancel Snoop's performance at their Football League's championship game. But the rapper does have his supporters.
I'm with Snoop. Like, I don't want to have to explain any of this in a cartoon or a movie if I'm taking my child.
That's just not a question I want to be asked or answered while I'm sitting here watching this children's movie with my grandchild. So, and you know, Snoop probably in that movie theater high as hell. Yeah. You know, he got to answer this deep question from his grandchild. I don't think there's anything wrong with expressing that. And I think everybody who has outrage over that, y'all are part of the problem with this society.
And the left also attacked Snoop earlier this year when he performed at the Trump inauguration crypto ball. So, one, there's a lot of truth coming out of Snoop from not just the black community, but especially there where these issues are not talked about every day. And you hear that from Charlemagne or DNV. Molly, they can't cancel Snoop.
Oh, he's uncancelable. You know, he's Snoop Dogg. The end. He's uncancelable. We all know that. I have to say, I'd never heard of this movie, and I have little kids. It was called Lightyear from 2022. I have absolutely no problem with the content. Like, he has a problem with the content in that movie. I have no problem at all. I thought that was presented as a brief history part of this movie. It wasn't a big part of the movie. And gay couples exist, and gay marriage is legal, and I found it all completely unproblematic. That said, we can all have a grown-up discussion, and I don't think we need to cancel a longtime musical artist related to it. It was controversial at the time when they considered pulling it, and I guess this movie can't be shown in some countries. But honestly, really innocuous content to me.
The honesty from the mouth of babes. That's the thing. His grandson asked a very basic question. How can two women have a baby?
Well, look, I really think the problem for Snoop Dogg is that he played at Trump's inauguration, and that immediately puts a target on him. Uh-oh, he's MAGA, so we are going to find any excuse to cancel him and to put him down. As for that Australian footballer, Australia, don't do this to yourself. Wake up. Stop going woke.
Yeah,
Raymond.
Look, this was Lightyear, which was based on Toy Story.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear, with the appropriate movie for Snoop to be in, Buzz. But he made a great point. The movie, the call of the old movie was from infinity to beyond. Now we're from surrogacy to beyond. I'm sorry, I don't think this has a place in children's movies. Why are we introducing sexual content? Couples. These are kids coming for a lighthearted space adventure. They don't want to be burdened, and neither do parents, with this kind of baggage. It's a little overkill. Snoop makes a great point.
Yeah. So here's the deal, folks. One thing you should not do, and ought not to do, definitely, is lie to kids, because they're going to eventually grow up and find things out. Now, to tell stories and all that to kids, because they don't have the capacity mentally to even understand some things. But to explain how two women have a baby, yeah. See, that's the thing. When kids are younger, they're curious and they get asked questions. My son, I'll never forget, he asked me how did babies come. And I told him that all dads have a magic. I know y'all look, listen to me. I'm just saying, I didn't even think about it when I was saying it until how it came out. You know, like when you say stuff and you hear yourself, you're like, wait a minute, wait. It was too late. My son asked me this. I'll never forget it. He asked me about the babies and all that. And I told them that all men have a special seed, and they put the seed in the mommy's belly button right there, and they cover it up. And I said, then the seed ends up growing and turning into a baby. And he said, what is it? He said, well, then what about the seed? How do you get the seed? And I said, all men have a special sack that the seed goes in. So yeah, now think about that. Get older, you end up finding out that men do have a sack that have a seeds in it. There it is. So as they get older, you can, there's a better understanding. But how are you going to explain how two men can have a baby and how two women can have a baby? How are you going to explain that away? Because one thing that you need to definitely point them to is how it happens. Nature does not need your help. Nature is nature, period. How does a baby come about naturally? It's never going to come about with two men together. It's never going to come about with two women together. So then what if the kid get the question? So then why, it's going to mess them up. But in this particular case, why should he be canceled for that? To be quite honest with you, there's some things I'm like, kids shouldn't even be watching because it's a little too sexual. Some Disney movies was almost a little too sexual. The kissing scenes stuff was almost too just sexual. I remember being like in the 3rd or 4th grade, and I forget what it was that we watched. But next thing you know, we go out for recess and kids getting in trouble because they're trying to go behind a tree and mimic what they just saw in a Disney movie. See what I'm saying? So some of the stuff shouldn't even be in there at all because it ends up making them think, and it tests their curiosity and they want to go and try to test it out. Let's just keep it real. Anyway, I'm 100% behind Snoop. Too often and too much, we see all this nonsense in these movies and stuff anyway, to where you just like, oh my God, just y'all going crazy with the stuff now. Just trying to put it in everything. And nobody wants to go and see that. Why does that even have to be in there? Just, man, can the movie be about the movie? But you got to squeeze in there a homosexual relationship. It's just crazy. And not only do they squeeze it in there, they want to make sure that they're loving and on each other and da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think of this by putting in the comment section after this video. Don't forget to do this right here. The next video I'm doing after this one up there, things as of yesterday right here. If you have not subscribed, click up there. I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, clothing. Most of all, praying every last one of you guys in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.